again. Martin Keaton is with us from the Baxter County Extension Service. Welcome to the show.
Well, glad to be here.
Glad to be here. As fall's coming around, and we want to talk a little bit about what homeowners will be doing this time of year and how the Extension Service can help them out in some way.
Okay. Well, some of the things that homeowners will be doing coming up in September would be they need to overseed their lawn, their fescue lawn in September after it kind of cools off. That would be the time to overseed their lawn.
Add more seed to it?
Yeah, to thicken it up, because especially with this kind of summer we had, fescue lawns have a tough time anyway, especially with the hot, dry summer that we had, took its toll on it. So if you need to overseed it, when it cools off here in September would be a good time to do that.
Is there a certain time of the day you should be doing this?
Well, I mean, as far as like broadcasting the seed out there, I mean, you can do that any time now. If you have some bare spots, it'd be good to kind of lightly rake it and then seed it, and then
do you water it good then once you've tossed the seeds out?
Yeah, you'd want to keep it lightly watered while it's germinating and coming up and getting established, and as it's getting established, put out a little bit more water less often while it's getting established. And then another thing on lawns at the 1st of September would be to put out a pre-emergent for the winter weeds on your lawns. But now if you're going to be overseeding, you couldn't do that because that would kill your grass seed like it does the weed seed. So that's something that, if you have a winter weed problem like, henbit and hairy bittercress and chickweed and those type things, winter weeds like that, it would be time to put a pre-emerge out and then either do it right before a rain or water it in, because it has to be activated by irrigation or rainfall. And that's, some of the things, of course, like you can take soil samples any time of the year, so if you need to do any soil sampling, you could do that now.
And you offer that as free service?
Right, yeah. And they just need to, sample each area separately and bring a pint of soil in for each sample. But to get that sample, you'd want to go in several different areas to get a good representative
of your entire lawn area.
Yeah, you take several subsamples and mix them together for your one sample.
And what do? You determine what their soil is lacking and what they need. And
right, it would tell what kind of fertilizer they need to use on their whatever they're going to be, fertilizing, whatever they're sampling for. It'd tell them how to fertilize and how their pH is, whether they need to add lime or not.
Would you do that service for people that have larger field areas? Yeah,
I mean, we do that for homeowners as well as farmers. So farmers, if they need to take soil samples, this fall would be a good time to take soil samples of their pastures.
Yeah.
And of course, speaking of pastures, I mean, now after we've had the dry weather like we've had, it'd be a good thing to, if you haven't already, to be checking to make sure that you don't have any kind of poisonous plants out there in your pastures for your livestock to be eating, because when forages get short and they
start going for anything.
They're starting to look for anything, so that's when you run into problems with livestock eating poisonous plants when they normally don't.
And do you have a list of those poisonous plants?
Yeah, we have a fact sheet that has them on there. Of course,
maybe I don't know what.
Does it include a picture? Is what?
That's
because describing a poisonous plant is not going to do any good. I need a little photograph right there.
We have some websites that you could go to look at the pictures. Like a couple of the common ones would be Perella mint, and then another one is Johnson grass if it's below 18 or 24 inches tall. Or if it's drought stressed. Those are some things that when Johnson grass is poisonous as far as prussic acid.
Okay, and is that for all livestock or?
Yeah, all livestock.
Goats included? Because I've got some goats.
Yeah, I mean it'd be all livestock. I mean some livestock would be more sensitive than others, but I mean all livestock you'd have to be concerned about prussic acid.
Okay, wow, more than I know.
Well, like I said, if they have other things to eat. Like if
they'll stay away from it.
Right. If you have pasture or if you're feeding hay or something like that, if they have other things to eat, then usually you don't have a problem with like the poisonous plants. Now, of course, Johnson grass, I mean, you could, but the other type of poisonous plants is usually when they run out of good things to eat.
Good. Well, we're going to have you come back in late September.
That'll be fine.
Talking about
good.
a couple more things that our viewers might want to be interested in.
Okay.
And I appreciate you coming by.
Well, glad to be here.
Thank you. All right. Up next, why don't you introduce?
Oh,
I don't have the
I
other
can
name
do
there, and I
this.
forgot.
Glenn Preby and Connie Coleman are here to talk about the Baxter County Fair, which is starting on the 13th, guys, I think like that. It is right around the corner, so stay tuned.
Thanks, Mark.